What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. It's me, Bryson Sports Talk, and today we are back at it doing a mock draft. I just did my Eagles 7-round mock draft, so it's now time to do our first mock draft of the year, and this is going to be all 32 teams. Some stuff regarding drafts, a lot of draft stuff coming up. I've been watching a lot of films, so basically everything that I need to do and know about most of these prospects, I've mostly done. So I thought this would be a good time to start with my first mock draft. This mock draft, it's very early up in the year right now. So obviously I'll try to do at least 2 or 3 more before the draft actually comes up. Then of course my final mock draft. Before we get into it, of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Go check out the Twitter because I will post a lot of my draft thoughts on there and stuff regarding the draft and draft news, so that is a good place to go ahead and check out. So let's just get straight into it with our first pick. The first pick is the Jaguars, and honestly, early on, there's, starting at around this time of year, there's kind of a number 1 pick candidates, and there is this year. But for this one, I'm a little bit in a toss-up. They just took a quarterback. This defense is needing some help, but so is the offensive line. And I'm looking mainly at my 2 options here in Kayvon Thibodeaux and Evan Neal. I really love both of these guys, and I think, looking at their biggest need, offensive tackle and edge are 2 things that they're going to need, they need and value the most. So I think that's kind of where they would go here. And honestly, in my opinion here, a lot of people have been saying Evan Neal, so I'm going to go Evan Neal, offensive tackle out of Alabama. It's very interesting. Daniel Jeremiah has said Evan Neal. Ryan Wilson has hinted to Evan Neal. There's a lot of draft analysis and analysis saying that Evan Neal is a pick there, so that's kind of where I'm going to head. To start my first mock draft off, most likely that will change. Next up at pick number 2 here, I'm going to have the Lions go Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. I don't know why it did not click. Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. He's a very good player. He's just everything he's done. I think he should have won the Heisman Trophy. You don't see guys like him who just do so well. Him and Ojabo were 2 amazing guys to have side by side, and I think that Aiden Hutchinson's better than Thibodeaux, and I think you just got to take the better guy. Next up at pick 3 here, there's a lot of options where the Texans could go. They could go quarterback in Corral here or Kenny Pickett. They could go, safety or Thibodeaux here. And I'm actually going to have him go with Kayvon Thibodeaux. I just don't think you pass up on a guy like Thibodeaux this early. And I think, Kyle Hamilton would be a very good guy to have on this team. Looking at their needs, they do need a safety. They do need edge, though, too. I think that Kayvon Thibodeaux is a very good pick. Next up is pick 4 for the Jets. Jets are also in need of some secondary here. I'm going to have them go Andrew Booth Jr. here, quarterback out of Clemson. Booth possesses the, amazing cornerback position in the NFL at 6 foot. He won't be the tallest in the draft class, but no by means will be the smallest. Furthermore, Booth has exceptional length, which is far more critical right now and at the next level. He's already demonstrated that he can put the length good with some phenomenal interception and pass breakups. He's just a very good, very fast guy. He's very nice. And I think Booth is, the type of guy that the Jets need on this team. And when it comes to that, after, losing some key guys, I just think that, toss-ups are next. And I think that you got to just go ahead and solidify your guy. Next up at pick number 5 for the Giants, there's a lot of options here. I was looking mainly at offensive tackle here early on, and I'm going to have to go with our boy here, Ikem Ekwonu. It seems like he's just the number 1 candidate to go right there for the Giants, and I don't blame him. I think they need another tackle. Ekwonu is very good at blocking as a tackle. People are saying that he could also be a guard. I think anywhere on this O-line, he'll really just be very good for the Giants when it comes to protection. But I do believe that the Giants could also shock a lot of people and look for more key players because O-line, is key. But looking at the rest of you guys here, you got Hamilton, Leo, key playmakers when it comes to being, someone outside the offensive line position. Next up, at pick number 6 for the Panthers. A lot of needs here, looking at the quarterback position specifically, and I think that's where you kind of have to solidify your player in Matt Corral out of Mississippi. Matt Corral just put up one heck of a season this year. I think that, you know, Kenny Pickett was a candidate to go before, and I think Corral just played very well. And I think he's just guys a lot of teams are really liking. I mean, even though he's been injured, he got injured in that bowl game. I think Corral is still going to play one heck of a career in the NFL. Next up at pick 7 for the Giants, I just don't think you can pass up on a guy. I think you pair up Kyle Hamilton with Xavier McKinney if Peppers does not come back. And Kyle Hamilton is just a beast. He's a freak of nature. He can play anywhere you want. He's very tall, 6'4". He's just 5 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, 24 games. He's just had an amazing season, amazing career at Notre Dame. Kyle Hamilton is just something special. Next up at pick 8 for the Falcons. The Falcons are another team that's in need of, they solidified that Ryan will be back, but they do need some other things here. And I believe that Karlaftis could be an option. I believe that he gives a lot of people what I think they're really looking for. I also do believe DeMarvin Leal could be an option, but I think here I'm going to go with George Karlaftis at a predict. Next up at pick number 9 for the Broncos, quarterback, edge, offensive tackle, linebacker. You know it. They need all of these guys, and I'm looking at a few guys who I wouldn't find very surprising if they go after. I think they have a lot of young playmakers on this team. I think you get some protection. I think Charles Cross is the pick here out of Mississippi State. He's just brings really good athleticism for an offensive tackle. He's very good at blocking from what I've seen. He's something special for this Denver team. They need some other guys like, Garrett Bowles is there. I can't really name a lot of other guys at the top of my head, but they need more players, and I think Charles Cross helps that out. Next up at pick 10 for the Jets. The Jets just went after, obviously Andrew Booth here, and my next pick for them, looking at our options here, I do believe that Kenyon Green is going to be the pick here. I think you go ahead and get more protection for Zach Wilson, give him more time, and just get this line to be built up. Obviously, it's not really something that they're really needing right now, but I think it's more of an option for them right now. I think that that's just kind of something that you really need. Is O-line, and I think that's just an option that you can solidify here. I don't think you go ahead and take 2 corners. There's really not safeties, linebackers. I don't think Ojabo would go this early. I just think Kenyon Green's a pick. Next up at pick 11 for the Washington football team. Heineke is not their franchise guy. I'll tell you that. Kenyon Green actually would have been a very good pick there. But looking at our options here, I'm going to have to go with Kenny Pickett out of Pitt. I just think Pickett, he's just had his ups and downs. I just think that this is where he needs to go. He's a redshirt guy. He needs to come. He needs to get drafted. Washington will get a lucky guy out of that. Malik Willis could also be an option. I know these guys are ranked very low, but looking at their position needs, sometimes you just got to take a gamble. Next up, at pick number 12 for the Vikings. The Vikings, another team that picked around this part last year in the draft. I'm going to have them go with DeMarvin Leal, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. Leal is so athletic, very good. He has the size to play as a defensive tackle, but the explosion of a defensive end. Leal literally will do anything to help out this team defensively out of Texas A&M. They've had a lot of defensive tackles come out of there. Leal's just a beast. Next up at pick 13, for the Browns, I believe that the Browns, even though they don't really need this position, I think they're going to go more on the, this side, the offensive coordinating side. But I do believe that Derek Stingley Jr. is here, and I just think that that could be their guy. And I think I'm actually going to go with him. I don't think they really need that position, but you look at the best available. Stingley is considered a top corner. He's one of the top players. Pick 13 is a little late for him, but I just don't think there's anywhere else where Derek Stingley would go. He could even be a safety for them. I think they could just move around wherever they really want to, just not obviously on the line, and probably not linebacking. But Derek Stingley Jr. is the pick. Next up at pick 14 were the Ravens. I believe the Ravens are also going to potentially go cornerback. I believe that, Stingley Jr. could have gone there too, but actually I think I'm going to have them go with our offensive, maybe a center would be ideal for them. That's not really what they need. I actually think I'm going to have them, looking at our players here, I think I'm going to have them go Jordan Davis out of Georgia. Jordan Davis is just an amazing leader. Standout guy, 340 pounds, 6'6", just a beast. He projects to be one of the top defense tackles in this class. Now for my Eagles, I think our first pick is going to be Nakobe Dean here. Devin Lloyd's a very good option too. But I think the Eagles like Nakobe Dean a little bit more. Next up at pick 16, I think they also will take our cornerback position here in Ahmad Gardner. So we got our next picks down. So I believe I'm not really going to explain it. If you want to hear my explanation for these two guys, go over to my last video and check it out. Next up at pick number 17 for the Chargers, I'm going to have them take a guy who I think can play really anywhere for them, I think, when it comes to their needs here. And I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have them take, on the defensive side of the ball, David Ojabo out of Michigan. He's just a beast. Honestly, I wish the Eagles would most likely go after him, but I just don't think that that's where their target is right now. But I do believe that Ojabo would be an amazing fit for a lot of teams. He's just a beast. Next up at pick 18 for the Saints. Interesting to see what they do here. I just think that his offense is lacking a lot of playmakers. At the receiving position, I'm going to actually have him go with wide receiver Chris Olave out of Ohio State. I just think they need playmakers. Michael Thomas, used to be top guy. He's washed now. They need some receivers. They need some playmakers. Young guy like Olave would be a nice guy to have. Back at pick number 19, there's a lot of things where I would want to go here. We got Linderbaum, Williams, and London, who are my main guys. Well, I'm really looking at here, and I'm actually going to bring in our boy, Jameson Williams. I know he came off the ACL injury. I just think he'll still be okay. He's really athletic. I personally just think even with this injury, he's going to really come back off the injury and become a better player. That's just how I feel about this man. Next up at pick number 20, I'm going to have the Steelers go after Sam Howell out of North Carolina. Howell, there's a lot of stuff on him. I think Howell is just going to sort of turn into a Big Ben in a way where he sits in the pocket way too long. I think offensive tackle could really help him out, but they cannot have another failed draft pick at the quarterback position. I just don't think Howell will be that one player. Next up for the Patriots, I'm feeling this guy who's just a very explosive player. Give me Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. This man feels like a guy who would just be coming to the, coming to the Patriots. He has to wear custom-made 5XL gloves to wear on game day. In his hand size gives him incredible catchability. Furthermore, his hand size allows him to be physical in the ground game. Burks is both willing and able to in this regard. Treylon Burks is just an athletic freak. Next up, for the Raiders, a lot of holes that are missing in this team, being defensive tackle. I do believe that they have some players. I don't think they really need to worry about that here. But I'm going to have them take a fast, speedy guy out of Penn State, Jahan Dotson, wide receiver. Personally, I think Jahan Dotson is very fast, so kind of replace Henry Ruggs in a little bit of that way. I think they need more guys, They need some more receivers alongside Hunter Renfrow. Jahan Dotson is that pick, in my opinion. Next up for the Cardinals. Cardinals are in need of a decent amount of things, specifically being cornerback and edge. Looking at the defensive positions here, I believe Kaiir Elam would be an amazing fit for them. Next up for the Cowboys at pick 24, I believe that, no doubt, they have to go safety Daxton Hill out of Michigan. Daxton Hill just provides everything they need. He put up a 4.30 second in the 40-yard dash coming out of high school. He's just a speed. He's a freak at nature. He's just an amazing player. Next up for the Bills here, I'm going to have them take a cornerback here. Trent McDuffie is ranked very low, but trust me, Trent McDuffie is something special. My man, he is crazy. He's another athletic beast, 4.47 in high school. Very lightweight guy, speedy, fast. And I think, with the older secondary, McDuffie would be a nice young piece to have. Next up for the Titans, another thing that they've been needing a lot is linebacker, and this is a steal in my opinion, Devin Lloyd. I just don't see teams like past the Eagles that really are going to go after him, and I think Devin Lloyd is just he's just an amazing player. Ranked very high in this draft. I think Lloyd could go anywhere from out of the top 10 to pick 32. Devin Lloyd is just an amazing player. Next up for the Buccaneers, one of the craziest picks in the draft, in my opinion, because you never know what's going to happen with TB. You never know what's going to be going on, and so I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take him a quarterback, but I'm going to give him some help, because a rookie quarterback, you never know. Give me Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. Penning is a powerful blocker, can dominate a lighter defenders at the point of attack. He has great upper body torque and a ton of stored potential energy within his frame. I like the way that Penning plays. I've watched a little bit of him lately. He's nice. Next up for Green Bay, I think the defense is kind of fine. You just need to go ahead and get a speedster in Garrett Wilson. Out of Ohio State, Wilson has a very good vertical. You've seen a lot of his jump ball catches. That's another thing that would help out. Whoever the quarterback is, obviously, we have heard Aaron Rodgers' opinion. Next up, we got the Bengals. I believe that the Bengals are going to take potentially Linderbaum here. I just don't think Linderbaum goes any further. Next up at pick 30 for the Dolphins, once again, same spot earlier. Wait, they did not have the pick earlier. I'm sorry, I remember they traded their pick to us. Personally, I think for the Dolphins, they're going to go after probably the more on the defensive side of the ball. I like Lewis Cine a lot. I also like Jaquan Brisker. I do think that, they could also use an edge in Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State, who was just projected to be a steal. Next up at pick 31 for the Lions, took Hutchinson earlier. I think you got to get another receiver on this team in Drake London. He just seems like a guy who would go to Detroit. London is a very good jump ball. Standing at 6'5", you don't look hard to find among the teammates on the tape. He's just an amazing player. This is the best, his ability to go up and secure the ball in contest and catch situations. To finish it off with the Chiefs, I'm going to have him finishing off with safety. Sorry, wrong thing. Safety, Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. So that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Cue the intro. Outro.